Hey y'all, it's Tracy. Welcome to the kitchen. Today I have lots of, hopefully you guys can see, maybe not. But I have lots of peppers. I have jalapenos, I have green bell peppers and red bell peppers. And I am going to make some more jalapeno jelly. And it is really good. Now this one though that I made, I did put I didn't put any of the seeds, so there was no seeds. It called for half of the jalapenos to be seeded and half of them not to be seeded, but I didn't know if it'd be too hot, so I just took all the seeds out. But it needs a little kick to it. So this one's good. It's just not really spicy. When I think of jalapeno jelly, I think of a little bit of spice. So this one is not spicy at all. So I'm going to leave some of them in. And then I'm also going to add to today's some red jalapenos. Just because I really like the look of the red and green together. Now I don't know that you guys can see, but there is some red and green specks. I just want some more red specks. And I didn't have a whole lot of red bell peppers. I only have, how many do I have? I have 4. So 2 for this recipe, and I am going to make another batch, so 2 for that batch. But really, and I'm gonna just go ahead and start chopping these up. But this recipe, it's good for crackers. It would be good for little baguettes. It would be, Tyler and I were talking about some of the things that we've been making actually would be really good on a charcuterie board. So I think that would be a pretty cool idea. When we went to his parents' house, she brought out this little, what are they called? Those little pita chips, and she had cheeses and crackers and all sorts of things. So, you know. And then she also brought out the apple butter, which I had made and gave her. So it's kind of a cool idea, and I think that's something you could probably do with this one too. If you were having like a party or something. But this is a really good recipe. I got the idea from this lady my dad works with. She gave him some for Christmas last year, and he liked it, and so I was gonna make him some for Christmas this year. Trying to get all my stuff done, all my canning and stuff. I am gonna give away stuff as gifts. So gonna do that, and I wanted to give him some of that. So that's what got me to making it. But like I said, the first one, my mom doesn't really like it spicy, so I left the seeds out for her, but gotta put some of those seeds back in. It's gotta be a little spicy. So that's kind of where all this came from, and that's kind of where the recipe came from too, although I am changing some of it. I am putting more green pepper and more red pepper, bell peppers, than it calls for, just because mine aren't very big. As you can see, they're kind of small. Here's one. This one's not too bad, but still, they're not like the giant ones. So I'm just going to put more than one. Plus, I think it just needs, this jar is okay, but some of the other ones, they just don't look like they have very many peppers, and I want a lot of peppers. So I'll make my dad some. I'm going to do this batch, see how it tastes, and kind of maybe split some up, split some of the hot and non-hot with him, and then work on seeing how many I can get made for the market. So I do the Prince George market and in October, there's going to be a market for the Wood Lake. And so I'll go to that. But so we'll see how this one goes. I'll kind of test both recipes, see what I like, see what I think everybody else will like, and then just kind of go from there. So in the directions, it also says to use a food chopper, food processor. I used mine, tried to use mine the last time, and I just didn't like the way that it did it. Like when I took them out, it looked really soupy and watery, and it also said something about like putting it through a mesh or something. I'm just gonna cut them up real fine. I don't mind the chopping, so I'm just gonna sit here and chop them up real small and put them in my big pot and kind of go from there. Then start the recipe. So the recipe that I got, I am doing a little bit different as far as like the method that way, chopping and whatnot, and then adding just a little bit extra. So, but I'm gonna go ahead and get these all chopped up and ready. Like I said, I am gonna chop all this by hand into little pieces, so there's no sense in you guys watching me do all that. So I'm gonna chop up these, and then once all of this stuff is chopped, then I'll see you back. Alright, now, so all of my vegetables are chopped, all of my peppers. Let me go ahead and show you. So, kind of a shadow, but you can see they're all chopped and they look really good. So now, what we want to do is we want to add 5.5 cups of sugar. So I've got 4.5 right here. I'm just going to put that in. Kind of a lot of sugar, but it's good. Alright, so that's 4. We need to do another one. Let's see. Just a little bit more. A little bit more. Alright, 5.5. I think that's too much. Hold on. Yeah, no, that's 5.5. Okay. So 5.5 cups of sugar. And then we're gonna add some vinegar. Let's see, let me get my cheat sheet. Vinegar, 1.5 cups. I have the big jug of vinegar, the distilled white, that's what it calls for, white vinegar. So 1.5. Strong. All right. Okay. So 1.5 cups of vinegar. And then calls for 1/2 teaspoon of salt. I don't have a little teaspoon thing. Hold on. Alright, 1/2 teaspoon of salt. Sorry, salt's behind you along with some metal tongs. Alright. So this is 1/4 teaspoon, so I have to do it twice. Okay. There we go. And then what we're gonna do with this. Alright, so I've got the sugar, the vinegar, and the salt. And we're gonna just turn it up to medium and get it, or medium to high, and get it to a boil. So now we just wait for that. And we're just gonna kind of stir things around a little bit. And this could take a little bit to get to a boil because it's vinegar. So, yeah. Yeah, that could take a little bit. Because vinegar, I mean, it seems like it takes long enough for water to boil. Vinegar is going to take just a little bit longer. So, be right back. Okay guys, so, I figured, did not want to spend 10 minutes watching this boil, so, I brought this up to boil, and I have let it just kind of sit and boil for 10 minutes. I did occasionally stir everything just to make sure nothing was sticking to the bottom, and since I don't have a dishwasher, I like to clean up as I go. So, wash the knife and all of that. And then I already went ahead and put my jars out because I knew it was getting close. So, they're all warm and everything. So, after this is boiled, what you want to do is you want to add liquid pectin. And so, I've got the Surgel Certo liquid pectin. So, we're just going to cut this open, put that in, and this is, so pectin is going to be what helps it set up into that gel state. Okay, so we're going to pour that in, get it all out. And just so you guys know, I don't think I mentioned this before, but when you are cutting your jalapenos, make sure, especially if you're using like red ones, maybe if you know you're a sensitive person to stuff like that, wear gloves. Ooh, that's hot. Make sure to wear gloves because it can be very, very hot. So we're gonna stir this and let this boil for 1 minute with that Surgel. Yeah, so when I was cutting up the jalapenos, I should have worn gloves. I do sometimes, I don't sometimes. But, you know, you could feel it getting a little hot. But I washed my hands with Dawn dish detergent afterwards, and, you know, it helps get a little bit of that hot out, so they're fine now. But, if you're someone who's, like, really, you know, sensitive to that kind of stuff on your skin, make sure you use gloves. And of course, like when I do it for the markets and stuff, I'll have gloves on, just, you know, keep things not contaminated. But this is for me, so I have to taste test this one. But anyways, just a little tip. And being as this is vinegar, like my nose is burning a little bit because it's vinegar. Okay, you can smell it. It's kind of hot. Okay, so that was the timer for this. So this has been boiling for 1 minute. Now what we're gonna do, I normally do it on that burner. It says remove it from the heat. Okay. Just move it back a little bit. But, oh, and I forgot my little ladle. I'll be right back. No, there was some I forgot. I tried to get everything set up. Alright. Anyways, that's all good. Let me grab my ladle, and we will ladle this into some jars. And here's my jars right here. I'll be right back. Alright, I've got my funnel, and I've got my little scooper. So I'm just gonna have a jar. I'm going to scoop this mixture into these jars. Actually, I kind of need to hold on to this for a second. Ooh, too much. Maybe that's too much. Hold on. Let's see. No, that's alright. Alright, so you want to do it to a 1/4 of an inch of headspace. I think that's a little much, but it's okay. Alright, and another one. So this happened the last time I made it too. I don't know if you guys can see, but like all of the peppers are floating at the top. So I don't know. Oh, there's too much in that one. I'll get it in a second. I really don't know what to do with that. If you guys have made this before, and know like how not to get it to do that, let me know. Because that's primarily why I put more peppers this time, is because, actually, I think that one's okay. Oh, it was that one. In a minute. I put more peppers because it was not, you know, it just didn't look like enough. They were all at the top. They weren't proportional around. I don't know. We'll see. See what happens. But, I did 12 jars. Got 12 jars ready. So, probably... I could use my little debubbler, but I don't know. I don't know. Right, last jar. And I have some left over. So, let's see. Let's get the debubbler.